All right, everybody, welcome to Building Character, episode 41. Caesar RE, Black Act 2K, and our first guest of 2022, Budstur, down here in the bottom of the screen.
Motherfucking Budstur.
Motherfucking Budstur. And the new addition that Black pointed out behind the scenes, I have the past episodes running in the background, so, you know, they do happen. It's not just the one episode. We'll just do that back there. So it's like Inception now. It's like the episode inside the episode, and eventually there'll be an episode inside of that episode, and it'll just be never ending. Black loves it. His head's going to explode. No. Yeah, it's going to happen. But anyway, how about we get kicked off here, Budster? I know I'll have a bunch of questions because other than in Black's chat, I don't think I've ever played games or talked to you at all, so it'll be a good conversation. How about you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Budstur.
I'm motherfucking Budstur.
I'm motherfucking Budstur. I don't know. I'm pretty basic. You know, I like to conversate with people and like to meet a lot of new people and whatnot. So I think I created a Twitch account probably about 2-3 years ago. And I started streaming on that like off and on, not really
caring.
No, it was like sporadic. It was just like here and there. And then it kind of progressed from there. I don't know. I got into Facebook. I switched over, you know, and then because I kind of migrated in the house, like originally my shit was in the kitchen. And it was like everything just started evolving. It was like a single screen, some mediocre camera. It always starts with something,
sure.
You know. So I was in the kitchen. It was very loud, you know, kind of got annoying for the family because it's like, you know, they're like, he's over there, and then the kid, you know, they got the son in the background, you know, yelling and stuff. I don't know, it's just how it was. I think everybody's been there at some point in their life, you know, as a streamer. So I got an extra bedroom. This one was actually a guest bedroom in the house, and we never had guests come over because we're like an hour and a half, you know, 2 hours away from everybody else. So I was like, you know, I'm going to toss everything out and I'm going to make this my man cave. So this is where I ended up. And then I migrated over to Facebook about, probably about a year and a half. Well, it said I created the account March of 2020. I lost track of time, to be honest with you.
I have to. Don't worry, you're not the only one.
I've been streaming this little or this long, so it's interesting. But it's definitely been up and down through the streaming world. I've met a lot of great people, and I don't know, just kind of building fan base, not fan base, but you know, followers. I've met a lot of people I play with are streamers. It's great. You know, it's nice to come home. You know, I work, I see the family. When everybody's settled in and everybody starts doing their own things, because my wife loves her crime shows, so she'll watch her crime shows. My son's a gamer; his room's on the other side. So, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna start streaming just for fun, and it's kind of progressed. And you know, I almost quit a few times before becoming the level up program, you would say.
Sure.
I'm like, you know, because it felt like a struggle to get there to that point, and all of a sudden it just kind of blossomed and got bigger. It got better. You know, I've always said that, you know, people are looking at following numbers. I just look. My thing that I like to say the most, it's not about quantity, it's about the quality. And it's Absolutely. Like you can have 10,000 followers, but you know, if only 5 people are coming in, you know,
you haven't even got through the intro and you already gave me the lesson of this episode. Quality over quantity. It's easy.
I
don't think so.
It's been pretty fun. I tell you. So, you know, everything, I ended up surprisingly, you know, getting stars from people. People are generous enough to give me stars, and it's everything I put right back into the stream, you know, the audio, extra monitors, you know, lighting, stuff like that. So it's funny because you see my first stream you ever did, which I don't have access of, and it's like total crap. And then it gets to this point. So it's kind of nice when somebody reaches out to you and tells you, hey man, your stream's top notch. You know,
you just got a compliment in the chat already.
Not me.
you already got a compliment in the chat. Night Dragon, who was a past guest, he said he loves the flags in the background.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, that's an actual flag. This one right here. It's actually covering up a TV. If you don't notice that, I have you can see I have a couple other headphones sitting here, and those are some shooting range earmuffs.
Nice.
So, that one there, I got that one at what's it called, Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
So that's actually like not a canvas, it's actual fabric. But if you don't notice, there's can't see it, but there's a bar up top.
Rigs? Are those rigs?
They are. Those are 2 sets. The Rig 800s.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, those are the Rig 800s. Those are my
Solid
go-tos
headset.
for a great long time. Very comfortable. I ended up. So those are my backups. My son's got some, but I ended up going to the Logitechs. These are great.
I had a pair of rigs before. I loved them.
The wireless ones. I was just impressed that they had what was it, like a 24-hour battery life on them.
I was impressed they had a freaking earmuff big enough for this fat thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just I come home and I just enjoy hanging out with people, and I play. Recently moved over to ATS, American Truck Simulator.
Nice.
I got this wheel and all this stuff.
I like it.
I don't know if you've seen this, Caesar, but I have to show you this. This is probably a buddy of mine that I play with daily. He goes, "Hey, Ant, you got to see this, and I know you're gonna like it." And I bought it instantly. So my shifter.
He said I bought it instantly.
Instantly. Look at that.
Oh my god, it's a sword, bro.
It's a
Oh
katana.
wow, yeah, that's awesome. I couldn't tell at first
So-
until you pointed it out. Yeah,
That's good.
that's dope.
This is my shifter. So that's great. It's fun because it was originally like a little ball
Yeah.
sits there, but
Oh, that's
I'm like,
great.
Love it.
And so
because
what?
I had the katana on my chair, and I'm like, well, shoot,
Right.
I was
So-
going to give him for a handle.
What does that? What does that do? Does that just clamp onto the desk? So you just
Yeah,
take it
if
on and
you,
off? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you can just put it here. I can put it on my desk and whatnot.
Yeah, that's
I was
awesome.
looking at those on Amazon. They look pretty good.
No, that's awesome.
Price
I've seen. There's that guy on Facebook who streams in the morning, and he gets his cup of coffee. He's got his bandana on. He gets all in it. I don't know if you've ever seen that
Oh,
guy. He's like a bigger
have.
guy.
I've
He has
seen
like
him
a
on
couple
my
hundred
top
people.
timeline.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, I get sucked in from time to time. Like I don't know how or why, but I'm like,
It's
why am I
lawnmower
watching? I'm like,
simulators.
why am I watching this guy
You
fake
don't know
drive
why.
this truck right now? But I mean, drinking his coffee, and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, the guy with the raspberry is just kind of like, hey guys,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
yeah, I see him. Yeah, he's
I mean, he's
He's,
sitting
he's
at a
funny.
chair that he looks like he's in a big rig driving
Yeah,
down
he's
the
gone.
road. Yeah. And I'm like,
big old bug. It's like this big.
you know, the
Yeah.
day I was fascinated, I think it was because I saw him just like cutting off so much traffic. Like he just kept like running red lights and just going around everybody, and that's it captivated me. I was hooked. Night
Yeah,
Dragon said
it's-
he gave you a follow, Budster, so you probably see him pop in there.
I see that. Thank you, Night Dragon. If you want to go to the Facebook side and drop me a follow there, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, so it sounds like Budster made the transition about a year and a half ago over to Facebook.
Yes.
So, and that's where he's leveled up. It sounds like. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
This is my home. I tried doing the whole. I started stream. Well, it was probably about, I don't know, 6 months ago. I just kind of experimented, going from Facebook streaming to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at the same time, and literally nothing was happening on the other side. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to devote all my time to Facebook. So, and it's probably been the best decision I made. Really, I mean, if I'm making $1 or $10, it's like, wow. I mean, it's not what it's about. It's the money, but it's like people are generous enough on this platform to send you stars. It's like it's amazing to me.
For sure.
And a buddy of mine, he said, you know what, Anthony, because everybody's saying that ATS, that's your thing. Like, I don't know, they tune in the stream, they see me playing the game, there's like, dude, Budstur, that is your game. That's what you need to do and stick with. Because I mean, before it was Call of Duty and whatnot, and you know, a little bit of this and that. But once I switched over ATS, I mean, a lot of people started flooding in from all over, and the community is great. I love the ATS community. Fantastic. And, you know, I can't forget, you know, all the people that followed me before, but it's crazy how everything comes together. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's huge
But-
when you find that game that just clicks.
Yeah.
Because I
it's-
feel like I'm still chasing that game.
Yeah, they're saying Budstur, don't stream anything else, and I'm stubborn ass, and so I actually streamed like Call of Duty the other day, and I had some people come in there going, Budstur,
What the fuck?
what
Who are you?
you're playing what game? It's been so long. So yeah.
Now, do you game offline
That's
too?
ass, kid.
Do you game
Oh yeah,
offline too?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I like to just do some off stream gaming. I like to, sometimes like what we're doing here. Off stream, I'll get with some buds and we'll sit off stream and we'll have the cameras up like this and we'll just play video games offline. Just make it more personal.
Sure. Like you're in the same, like a LAN party, basically.
Yeah,
A virtual LAN party.
I like to do that. I don't know. It's nice to do it from time to time.
Yeah.
Because then you're not worried about chat. You're not worried about, the game. You're just focused on your friend and just kind of hanging out.
I just can't do it. I still find myself looking for chat and looking at the camera. It's just embedded in my code now.
That's where me and you.
I can't do it.
Black. I think that's where me and you like relate. Like there's
can't.
very seldom anymore that I want to sit down and game without chat. Like I will catch myself in a game saying like, "Did you see that chat?" or something something like that, even though I'm not streaming. So
I was playing zombies when my shit was all fucked up. I was playing zombies constantly, and I was in here not streaming. I was playing zombies, and I would still find myself like,
yeah. Real quick,
I
I guess Bubbles missed the conversation last week, and she can't put her finger on. She said Black did Black do something different? He looks different. Maybe it's the bright shirt. No,
Yeah,
Bubbles, it's that
it's the
facial
bright
hair that he's
shirt.
trying. Ari came in and said it was black, aka half a goatee, 2K or something like that. So anywho, yeah, I know it's awesome.
little challenge I got going on.
Yeah, it's
It's
awesome
coming
that
in better than what I thought it was.
oh, the goatee, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome to hear that like you have found that niche, Budster, of streaming and also gaming offline, and like that's still part of it because it's hard. I can't find that.
Well, I think you can ask anybody that I've ever played on this platform with that because you see some streamers, they actually change themselves in course.
Sure.
You can ask so my buddy Chris, he is in almost 99.9% of the streams.
Okay.
Like he just actually started streaming. But that's one thing I'll never change is he's been with me since day one and he's always the voice in the background.
Okay.
And he's always been with me since the beginning. So some friends of mine, we actually pushed him. He started streaming like a couple of days ago for the first time. It's like, cause he's like, no, I'm not about that, dude. I'm just like, I just want to play games. I don't care about that. And now he's a streamer.
Yeah. You're gonna tell me when you fire up that truck, you don't throw on like a cut off jean jacket and jorts? No.
Yo, I got a cut off
I'm just
polo
like this,
you
dude.
can have.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I might throw on the glasses
There
or I
it
might throw
is,
the hat on
yeah.
backwards or something like that,
There it is.
So something, and then Black Cat's gonna come in here. He goes, "Shades at night, dude." Like,
dude, I'm always
you're
giving.
fucking me up, bro.
Shit,
You're fucking me up.
The other night, every day I go into his stream
Every time.
that I can. Oh my god, I hit him with the most stupidest shit. Like the other day, he didn't even know his mic was still muted. I pop in at the perfect fucking time. I'm like, Budstur, I can't hear anything. Nothing.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Yeah,
It's always something. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. So for some reason, I don't know what it is about, because I got the Go XLR, I got the second PC, the wires input and output don't work. I don't know what's going on, so I have to use the voice meter banana app, and that's the only way I can push audio, and I didn't click on it. So I've done that many times. I'll pop in and start a stream. I'm like, hey, it's like, shit. The whole first 5 minutes is just toast. So thank God for people like Black to call me out of my shit sometimes,
Hey,
It's
95% of my streams, because I try to the Go XLR lets you have it on boot up your settings, right? So I have my settings so everything's muted, right? As far as like my mic and things like that. That way I can run my intro and then join and unmute. And 95% of the time I forget to unmute. So I'm welcoming people in and I'm talking, and then people tell me. And then I'm in a game and, halfway through a game, somebody will be like, "Hey, your game audio is muted." I was like, "Ugh, thanks."
Well, it's nice to actually have people tell you.
Oh, yeah,
because it's like I've done that with other streamers.
Tell me all the time.
Let me ask you guys a question. Are you the type of people who would look at someone and tell them they left a piece of salad or something in their teeth? Because there's a lot of people
100%.
who don't, because it gives them anxiety to tell them, right? I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean, right? Come on, you've encountered that person before, right? Or you have been that person where you're like, somebody should have told me that I've been walking around with this piece of kale in my fucking teeth.
Kale.
No.
Kale.
I don't eat kale. My cat's name is Kale.
No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't let that person. It depends on how much I like you. I mean, if
you're like, this is gonna be interesting to laugh at. See how many people look at them
if you're
weird.
just a random stranger, then yeah, I'll probably tell you. But if I don't like you, I'm not telling you anything.
Oh, for real. You're on the bad side.
Have a good day.
Look like an idiot.
So.
Oh shit.
I appreciate you guys asking me to come on here, man. That's great. That's cool.
I think Black told me that you, like I said, that I think you were interested, and then finding the right spot, so he went and added you. I love it. Sounds like, well, first of all, I see the sign in the background. Okay, Black knows. Everybody knows me at this point. I yell at video games fucking constantly. Okay, so this is awesome already. Talking, getting to know people.
You should hear him rage. It's great.
It's
last night was
step away from throwing things.
yeah, I just tuned in my stream the last 15 minutes of the stream last night. I'm like, fuck this tournament. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get too competitive and then I get too hard on myself.
Yeah,
and then I just start fucking up. Instead of just playing the damn game, it just falls apart and I can't put anything together.
I've been running into some self-discipline on just like, you play those games where there's the multiplayer battle royales for sure, right? Where there's a winning to it, right? Like you won or you lost. And then that competitive edge kicks in and it's like, I got to try again. I got to try again. I got to try again. Next thing you know, it's like, fuck, I should have been asleep 2 hours ago, And that, it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Yeah, I didn't even finish last night. I'm like, it's not going well. I'm just being hard on myself. And then my buddy Eric that I was playing with, Mr. Cecil, the Diesel, he's like, he was like, I can't. I'm like, we're both down on ourselves. We're done. I just can't focus. Just playing like crap. So I don't know. I'm too hard on myself sometimes. But yeah, I do have
one last night.
So I saw that. I'm like, oh, he would have beat us. I'm like, he would have beat us.
The closest
so he was
to
actually
footy.
He was actually playing duos.
Yes,
okay.
That was the rules.
I'm
great.
like,
the fucker was frying. I was watching him every chance I got.
Man,
he's frying.
Yeah, because you're in there, you don't have to worry about your buddy. You're just going in there. I played solo duos. It's
camped
fun.
A lot.
Fun.
He moved around in the Bertha, kind of posted himself up, and then hid like underneath the Bertha near like bush, so like it looked like an abandoned Bertha. It was the most prime gaming I've ever seen.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that was in your kill race last night.
Yeah, it was a great kill race. Footy and them, they got like 138 entries for the PC giveaway apiece. The third place got like 101 or some shit. And then the rest all got 10 entries just for participating. It was great. Great kill race.
So you got into Call of Duty. That's why you're going back to driving the trucks. Call of Duty pisses people off.
Well, the guys I run with, we like to crash and go fast. So it's a lot of fun. I like to sit back and watch them go at it. And I try to collide with them because it's good content for me. I think it's great content. You see them, they're in their trucks and they're just doing this, and all of a sudden, whoosh, straight in the sky. You're like, holy shit, right? And you're looking at it. So the stream sees it. And you come in and colliding with a UPS truck or something like that and send him flying. It's so comical. It's great, So, it kind of gets boring when nothing's happening. You're just driving around, but I like to have them in front of me and so watch them going at it, and I participate afterwards. It's great. I love it. We like to go fast and crash. It's great.
Have you done the like, I don't know what they are called, but like I said, I watched that guy a couple times. Where he's like driving on that like crazy road where it's like it's a hill, it's like a mountain, and you have to like
on the
keep
side
this,
of like
on the side, and it's like he's got exactly.
EU, right?
Yeah, the world's deadliest, I guess, road you would call it. I don't have that. I do have Euro Truck Sim.
Yeah.
But I think it's a mod you have to find or something. It's maybe what do they call them? DLCs.
Yeah.
It's something you have to get. It's not part of the game. I think somebody created it because it's pretty basic. Yeah, it's pretty intense when you're watching it. You're like, Jesus, you see him like knocking off cars just to making turns. But yeah, there's a lot of people that stream it, and that gets a lot of attention. It's just by driving on a single lane road,
right,
and trying to pass cars. But no, I don't do that. I stick with the states. So it only goes from California all the way up to like Oregon to Washington, over to Idaho, Wyoming, and then comes down through Colorado and New Mexico and Arizona and California. So that big bubble. So Texas and everything else east from that, it's not even on the map. They haven't officially created it.
Flat land.
Idaho.
In the Midwest. Yeah.
Well,
Idaho.
until you like, I'm thinking like 60-40. Like,
I mean, Utah's the. I mean, you get through Colorado, you're going through the Rockies. Did you say Colorado?
Yes,
I think you did.
Yeah.
I think it's furthest east you can go.
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
So, is it like open road? Like, is it like just one road that you're on, or can you go like left, right? You can pick your roads.
They have roads that you can go on. They do have some areas where it's not. You'll see in the game. You'll see these clear X's, and then there's roads that you can't go down.
Okay.
But there's a web of roads you can travel on. For you to typically travel like 1,000 miles, if you're going fast, like 100, 150 miles an hour in my truck.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You could probably get it done in about an hour. So that kind of tells you. I mean, because I'm running in a engine that's got 4,000 horsepower, so you're hauling.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Now, how much is like? So you said California. Like, can you drive through Los Angeles and it's like GTA style, like super congested, or no?
No, you can control the traffic if you want. You don't have to.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can have no traffic, little traffic, or you can have heavy traffic. So we just kind of have it right in the middle.
Nice.
Where it's just, or if you're doing race night, because I did that with another streamer, Tasha. She had they call it race night. We did it one time. I've done it with Jeff and some other people, and then they do no traffic. So basically, you get a load and you start in the same spot and you travel. And first one to drop their load wins. So there's no traffic. You don't have to worry about hitting cars. You know what's funny? And Lars, a lot of people can attest to this, is that the most OP car in that game is a Toyota Prius.
Yeah.
That thing seems like it's anchored to the ground. You hit that thing, your truck's fine. Like it's knocking you over. It's like, why is the fucking Prius the car that tears up a truck? Like,
who gave this thing electricity? Take that electricity away from that car.
Oh, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because they don't want you to meme.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fuck this Prius.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's some that you'll hit and they'll go flying. There's some that if you come up to a light and they're at a complete stop, that's the opportune time to hit them. For some reason, there's something in the game, like there's like this little wall in front of them. When you hit them, it sends them to the moon. And it's fun to watch, you know, or you get them just right. I've actually hit a car, went into the sky, and I'm still driving. All of a sudden, it'll land in front of me, and I'm like, oh, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And it turned out it was a car I hit 5 miles back. So,
oh man,
it's fun.
the physics in the game isn't always there, right? Tries to make it humorous.
It's not. Yeah, it's fun.
So you mentioned
I enjoy it.
You mentioned you know, you play quite a bit with streamers. Now, do you guys have like do you join the chats, or are you muting and unmuting? That's something I don't know if I will ever master.
I try to do the best I can. Like my buddy Chris that I play with, before he started, I mean, I still kind of do it. He tells me not to I don't know. I just do it out of habit. I have the foot pedal.
Yeah.
And so I mute him out from time to time. He gets pissed off at me. He's like, don't fucking mute me. Just, you know, so he wants to be part of it, you know, so he has my chat open. He participates in the chat, you know, kind of keeps it going. But yeah, if I'm streaming with other streamers, yes, I'm going to cancel myself out. I mean, I almost feel like I have to. It's just kind of, I don't know.
No, yeah. So that's the thing, right? Like if you, like I sit down and I'll watch like a bigger streamer, right? Like one of those guys who have obviously 60, 70, 80,000 people in their chat, right? And you know, they're muting, they're talking to their chat. I mean, not much, obviously, right? Like some of those guys have that chat moving so fast, like what are they reading, you know? But other guys, they're talking to their chat, and
yeah.
I'm telling you what, between playing a competitive game and trying to mute to talk to chat, like that's the thing that impresses me the most, honestly, is being able to do that. Like I probably would only ever be able to play with people who weren't streaming and wanted to be a part of it, right? Like they wanted to hear me talk to chat. They wanted to read the chat. They wanted to respond to chat, right? Like basically have them be a streamer through the same channel, right? Basically. Because I have the foot pedal. I've tried. A lot of times I run into people who aren't using Discord. I find that Discord's the only thing that really works with the foot pedal. I don't know. Is that what you use to toggle mute and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a dual pedal. The one on the left is the one that is for Discord, because I can just it's not a push to talk. It's a toggle mute.
Yep.
The one on the right is the push to talk. Like if I'm in the game, like let's say I'm playing Call of Duty, and it's convenient because it's push to talk in Call of Duty. So if I was playing with somebody in the game chat, all I have to do is just step on the pedal
and hold it,
and I can talk. And then if I need to go to chat, all I have to do is take my foot off and then toggle the Discord to mute it out, and I can go to chat. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of muscle memory.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to be honest, it's a little difficult to do it in this specific environment, what we're doing right here, because I've ignored pretty much all of my chat because I'm trying to focus on your guys.
Which is kind of like,
everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you guys are in here giving me shit, but I'm trying. Okay, so
we're all pretty well ignoring, besides like a couple here and there.
Yeah,
we're still reading.
And Budstur, that's a good call out.
Especially if someone says something.
We haven't had many people stream who are our guests. I've welcomed it, right? Like some people are like, I'm not going to stream it, and others have. I think if you've noticed, like I try to bring in chats that are relevant, whether it's relevant to me and Black or relevant to our guests. Like if somebody asks a question, right? I usually try to bring it in to ask, you know, maybe they want to know more about it. Feel free to do the same thing, right? If you have questions coming from your chat or whatnot, bring the conversation up. It's more than fine. This is literally just us shooting the shit. What I was gonna say.
Cool. I mean, I'm just trying to be respectful. You know, you guys asked me to be here, so I'm more focused on you guys. I know Fish, another streamer buddy, he's coming in here, dropped a couple 100 stars, and he's giving me shit. So I'm like, dude, that's my buddy. I'm just kind of.
We'll just keep every like couple minutes. We'll be like, and thank you to everybody for any stars that have come in over the last 5 minutes, right?
I love you guys. No, they all know I love them.
I was gonna say the foot pedal thing. So I made a recent change with. I only have the one foot pedal because I just wanted to mess around with it, see how it was. but I started to use it for game command like control, right? So like I put it for Call of Duty, I put it for prone, so I can like drop shot people a little bit easier because I have an extra, like I have my foot, I can just step on it, right? And it's like, so I started using it like that. So now I can't use it for muting, but
So what, in Call of Duty?
in Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I found a button here. So I have the G502, right? And so I know Black's got a Razor version. It's basically like,
Yeah, but I
the
have a
same
couple
thing.
G502s.
yes, you do, but you have the Razor. But I know there's the slide button, the slide cancel. I have it so where if you were to hold it down, that it would actually drop you. So I don't know if you use side buttons at all. That's kind of how.
so bad.
Hold on. Black, do I use
No,
side buttons?
Okay, everything
Black, do I
he
use
does
side
is
buttons?
side buttons. Everything he does is side buttons.
Holy, and you're using a pedal. You got damn.
That's how he builds in Fortnite.
Yeah, so no. Don't lie to the man. We'll talk Fortnite just for a second since that's the main game I do play, and I use all 12 for Fortnite. In Warzone, I don't use all 12. So I use 1, 2, and 3 for pickaxe and weapons. If you're familiar with Fortnite, right? I use 4, 5, and 6. 4 is my wall. That's my only building on my mouse. 4 is my wall. 5 and 6 are my heals. 7, 8, and 9. I think 7's auto run. 8 is probably map, and 9 is inventory. And then 10, 11, and 12 are my emotes. You know, if I want to dance in game. So basically, my left hand, right? I like to say this. My right thumb is more coordinated than my whole left hand. Okay, so I basically do WASD.
He just uses his middle finger for the W.
Yeah, right.
Everything else.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
On the space bar.
But no, it's funny.
Strafes with 11
because people give me shit, right? People will give me shit when they see, because on Fortnite it shows you what buttons you're hitting, right? On the screen.
It does.
So when they see something like 4 for my wall, they're like, why are you using 4 for the wall? And it's like, well, it's not my number pad, right? It's not my number keys. It's all on my mouse. I don't know. I people ask, like, there's only a few times I bumped the wrong button. It's just I can't stretch up. I probably could work on it. I just never did. I was like, nah, screw this. I grew up with a controller, so when I switched to mouse and keyboard, this worked for me. And I'm like, hey, I can do it. As long as nobody says I can't use this mouse, I'm going to keep using it.
Yeah. I forced myself to go to keyboard and mouse. So, yeah, I went from controller to that.
I did the same thing.
Way to go. It's the way to go. You just force it. Drop the freaking roller and go with it.
So
I forced myself.
For a while, I was still playing controller for Call of Duty, and I think I am going to try it here and there just to see. Because I think I've noticed my aim not being as good as it should be when playing mouse and keyboard for Call of Duty, which doesn't require the building. I don't think I will ever go back to controller for Fortnite. Just the building is so much more fun on, like,
no shot.
What?
No way to go back to a controller for Fortnite.
The thing is, my hand kills me. My hand kills me. Right?
I can't do it.
My hand kills me when playing controller.
I was playing Mortal Kombat with the wife the other night, and I had to play claw because I felt like I was hurting. Come on, guys.
First guest of the night. First guest of the night. But when did you switch to mouse and keyboard, Budstur?
I switched over like 2 years ago, plus or minus around that time.
It's about early 2020 or before?
Yeah. Probably about 6 months before COVID really hit.
All right, so I think March was COVID, so somewhere end of 2019.
Yeah, a little bit before that or something, so I mean, I think I can't remember when I got my PC. I think after when I got the PC, I forced myself to go.
I did the same exact thing.
Same.
I did the same exact thing.
I have my controller.
It's smart.
It's sitting right here, but I've tried going back to it. I'm like, fuck this. I'm stuck.
There's games. Like I play PGA Tour. I like playing PGA Tour on controller. It's just a little bit more fun.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll play
Rocket League. Yep. Yeah.
Rocket League. I can't play that on keyboard and mouse. It's just you see
Fun.
the
You know
difference.
what?
I've tried. It sucks.
Always
You know
fun,
what's crazy? The jumping. I found that I was way better at jumping on. I was just messing around on keyboard the one day, like the rolls and things you can do. I think I'm better on mouse and keyboard than I was controller. I'm such a fucking simple player on Rocket League when I play controller. It's just like jumps and boosts and that's it.
Yeah,
But
you won't see me shooting up in the sky, doing a barrel roll, coming to do a front flip and hitting the ball.
Some of those guys are good. Some of those guys are good.
I can't figure it out. I don't know how they do that, or they have that much boost to do what they do. I mean, there's this streamer that I used to follow, and it was amazing to watch him play. It's like, how the frick do you do that?
No,
but then again, I haven't put a whole lot of hours
that's
into
what I was
it
gonna
to actually
say.
learn.
That's what I was gonna say. I think you and I probably play that game more for fun and enjoyment, right? And somebody who does that is like, ooh, I want to perfect this. So like, they go in and they learn it, right? They try to figure out how to do it. But
it's tough. It's tough. There's a couple other games that I would play. I don't know, like Gang Beast or something like that. We played a little bit of that. That's a fun one to do with the big group. But other than that, no, it's strictly keyboard, mouse, and the steering wheel and the shifter.
Yeah,
so,
nice. Now,
yeah, I briefly played. Go ahead.
No, go.
I briefly played with when I got into ATS with a keyboard mouse, and I'm like, this requires a little bit more for the stream itself too. You know, because people like to see you shifting gears and driving. It's the whole experience. So,
you gonna do it in VR next?
VR? No, I don't think so. I mean, we're in the Oculuses or something like that. I don't know if I can do that. How would you implement that?
What do you mean?
But being in the cab and like looking around or something.
You would just be looking in the cab.
It'd be pretty cool.
I don't know. I think that just would look ridiculous. You know, you just like
I would watch that.
You would?
It's not that I don't already watch you.
I guess it would depend because you're not gonna. Here's the difference here, Black. You're not going to have the camera on you in that, right?
Huh?
Excuse me. He's saying, would you have the camera on you like what we're looking at with the Oculus is on?
I don't think so.
I would love that.
No, nobody wants to see that, right? Like the whole reason people want to see you is they want to talk to you. Now they'll probably get enjoyment out of it, but you would almost have to go into a role playing type game with that, right? Like it would be like, hey, you don't see me, you just see what I'm seeing the game, right? But so the question I was going to ask you is, when did you switch to a dual PC setup, and what made you make that shift, and how do you like it?
I have to be honest, it was a son of a bitch to figure it out. Having to go XLR, and then just constant trying to troubleshoot everything to make sure everything works properly, make sure I have everything going in the right direction where I'm supposed to have everything plugged in. Single PC for a while was so basic. It was like no problem, you just plug and play and just go to work, you know. But when you bring in a second PC in, you got to make sure everything's working. And then there was many nights, I'm not gonna lie, there's many nights I'm sitting up all night long during the week, and I'm like trying to figure things out because I'm so like into it. Like I need to get this shit going, because if I go to bed, then I'm just gonna be thinking about it anyways. That's how it's kind of like the OCD in me.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I look out the window going, oh shit. I go, today's gonna be a bad day. You're like, oh man, the sun's up.
Oh no,
it's
that's
not good.
Right. Miranda's gonna kill me.
I got the PC. Oh man, was it the middle of 2019? I guess. That was the gaming PC. I started upgrading a bunch of parts. I think I got it right about 6 months before I heard a 3080 was coming out. I think so if I do that right. So I started upgrading motherboard, CPU, and I started taking all those parts out, just kind of upgrading it, getting ready the motherboard, And I decided to take all those extra parts and build my son a PC. So I bought a case for him, started slapping in the motherboard, the old CPU. I bought him a graphics card. Well, check this out. So before the whole boom, I got the EVGA 1660 Ti. Yeah, I mean, you buy that thing what right now? $500-600,
Around there.
250. So before the whole boom. So I decided I built him a PC with all the parts, and then the 3080 came out. I got the 3080. Then I ran with that for a very long time. The second PC, so I yanked out my old GPU was the GeForce 1080 Ti EVGA. So I had that one sitting on the table for a very long time, and I was on the internet for a long time trying to find a computer that was a decent price without GPU, and I happened to come across a kick-ass deal for this one. Ryzen 7 2700. You don't need much for streaming. It's got the Cooler Master CPU cooler on it, Asus motherboard, colored fans, all or whatever. And so I'm like, I got a great deal on it. So I just slapped the 1080 in it, and that was done. So I didn't really build this one. The other one I did, and so. But the transition was very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of problems I came across going to dual PC, and I still have problems from time to time. It's like something will pop up. It's like, but I know this PC so well. It's like, you know what's funny is that from time to time, the motor in the AIO that gets the pump that's over the CPU will stop working.
Oh,
It'll just, because the Corsair, all of a sudden it'll turn red. I'm like, it took me forever going, why is it turning red? The fans would crank up, it would get really loud, and it would shut itself off. I'm like, what is going on? So I bought
CPU's basically frying itself if that cooler's off, right?
Yeah. So I bought a second one pretty cheap. It's been sitting there. And then I realized when it does do that, that I take a little screwdriver and I go tap, tap. It's like a starter. Have you ever tried to get a starter going that's stuck?
Hit the fucking solenoid.
It's that. So I go tap, tap, and then boop, it's working.
Oh my god.
The Corsair goes from red to yellow.
Case off the whole time, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, guys."
Yeah. No, it only does it on a fire up. When I fire it up, that's when it'll happen. If I
So
were
now
do
that other cooler is going to be sitting there waiting to be put in until you get tired of hitting that.
It doesn't happen that often, but you know, it's funny because my son, he calls me yesterday. Oh no, it was on Friday. He says, "Dad," you know, because he looks at the system. He's like, "Whoa," like, and he goes like, "Dad, can I play on your PC?" I'm like, "Go ahead." And I was at work, and of course, the one time he fires it up is when it transpired. And he goes, "Dad, the PC just shut off." And I'm like, "Oh no!" And I'm like, "Anthony," I go, "Get the iPad." So he's got the iPad out, and I'm like, "Oh, it's turning red." I go, "I'm not gonna have you open up my PC and tell you what you need to do.
Tell you to hit it.
No, I'm not gonna tell you to hit my PC."
Yeah, right.
So, and yeah, so he's kind of bummed out. So I got home, I got it running, and then I let him play for a couple hours. So I'm like, so he's sitting there. I was sitting in a chair back there. He's having a good time, but no, the transition was very eventful, if you want to say it. Yeah, it was difficult, but it's well worth it because the performance, because I did see a difference when I was playing Call of Duty. It's a very GPU demanding game. So I did notice a performance difference, like FPS went up, the game seemed more smoother, so I definitely thought it was worth it for sure.
Yeah, end of last year, I went and Frankensteined a bunch of things together. I upgraded my CPU, everything except my GPU, my storage, and my power supply, because obviously the GPU is, I'm not spending over MSRP, or at least not as much over that everybody wants, right? And I have a 2070 Super, but
Great
I was seeing a lot.
card.
Yeah. So mine was a pre-built. I had an i7 9700K in it. It was doing fine, but it just wasn't. Warzone was just killing my stream. You know, my camera would basically freeze. I was like, oh my god, this is not good. So I have a Micro Center nearby. I managed to get my hands on an i9 12th gen for $550. I'm like, well, let's try this out. Let's try to move some things in. So I did that, but I asked about the dual PC because I've told Black I still have everything except the power supply, GPU, and storage in my other pre-built. So if I can get my
Mhm.
hands on a, maybe I wait and the GPUs go down and I get a 3080, then upgrade and move the GPU back over, right? But it's an option at some point. I think I will probably pursue, but hearing the things like you say always scare me off. So I was curious.
It won't be as bad. So if you're doing it on your own, it's a different story. It's a different story than you have somebody like Black or that's already been through this crap. And we can guide you through and help
Sure.
you out, if you need to. It is scary because I actually switched desks last weekend and I was dreading it.
Yeah. Because you have to
Absolutely
start
I got
moving
a
all the
bigger desk,
wires.
and I'm looking at everything going, oh my God. I'm like, and I've been wanting to do it for like a month. So I've ended up getting the desk and I took pictures of literally everything. Like connections here, connections there, videos, because I cannot mess this up. So what I did is I put the new desk right here, and I just went from here, just started putting it onto this desk. Just started, and thank God everything worked out.
It's funny. So, I actually bought. I couldn't talk myself into spending an extra $300 on the i9. So I actually bought an i7 first, and then I didn't have all my other. I needed a motherboard that needed to come in. A whole bunch of stuff needed to come in. So I had the i7 just sitting in a box, and everything comes in. I go over to my old coworker's house who was like, I would love to help you build it. Right? He likes to build. I hadn't built one before, and I didn't trust myself. And so we put it together. I bring it home. I'm trying it out, and it wasn't performing like super great. Like I was kind of frustrated. Like I just upgraded 3 generations, still an i7, but 3 generations. And I'm like, ugh. And then Micro Center's sending me, promotional emails, and all of a sudden it dropped $50, right? And the i9 dropped $100. So now it's like, okay, I can either spend $200 more than what I was spending on the i7 and return or whatever, or go back and get $50 credit, right? Or get $50 back. And
you
so
end up spending it anyways.
Right. So what ended up happening?
What did you do?
Well, that's the thing. I when they told me that they'll take it, even though I just installed it, like I literally had it in, I think, for less than a week. I played a couple times on it. I went through the Windows update, because I did want to start everything fresh. So I did all that. I got everything set up, and I'm like, no. So I go and I trade it in. They give me the i9. I come back and I'm like, oh my God, I think I got addicted to this now. Like I start looking at all these other parts, and I'm like, oh, I can start doing this, and it started getting so Black. I don't know how much you like you said you did the AIO at one point, but when you start building it, it gets fun, right? It starts to get fun when you start to build it. Like the pre-built's one thing, you get it, it's like, okay, it's here. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on another one, right? But when it's like I can spend a couple $100 and I can improve this and I can improve that, and it's like it's a couple screws. I was like having fun rewiring things and a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, it's scary at the same time, but
it is. But it's not that hard. I mean, if you're mechanically inclined, it's you just got to match up parts. There's nothing a YouTube video can't fix. It's just like everything is at your fingertips. So if you have a question, you just go to the web, and that's kind of what I did
in this chat.
What's your last thing?
A YouTube video can't fix.
Yeah, it was scary. I tell you what, when I did the motherboard switch, when I upgraded, because I had the Gigabyte AX370 and I got the X570, it was scary. It was because you have to take literally evereverything off.
Yeah, I had to do a motherboard. Luckily, everything, like I said, most of my stuff was new, right? So we left a lot in my old motherboard. I bought a whole new case because I didn't think my case would work. Then I ended up buying a mid tower, and I should have got a full. But it is what it is. I actually like how small it is, and it doesn't seem to be overheating. It's got good airflow. It's just everything's compact, right? Like everything is tight, but it doesn't matter.
That one's huge.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I just couldn't talk myself into it. I couldn't talk myself into spending a couple extra. I was already spent. I mean, it was my Christmas present. I asked my wife, I was like, hey, I'm getting annoyed with this stuff. I upgrade some stuff. She's like, look, just make it a Christmas gift for me and the boys, and be done with it. It's okay. I'll just buy myself my Christmas gift. That's the PC upgrade.
That's how I operate.
And my chair.
wife doesn't buy me gifts. I buy my own.
Yeah, that was
Same.
it. PC upgrade and my chair. This was from my family, my brothers and my mom and dad. I basically was like, hey,
Nice.
I don't know what I want. My back's been killing me. If you guys all want to just chip in $100, I'll get myself a chair and be done with it.
Yeah, this one kills my ass.
Yo, Buck, I just sold my lab secret today, bro. $50
No
for that
way.
bad boy. Let's go.
He had an old chair and he labeled it Lab Secret. That was
I made a nice
right when I
TikTok
got
about
my affiliation with Secret Labs. We
Yeah.
were giving Caesar so much shit.
I literally taped on the words lab secret on the back of this leather, office chair.
Yeah, it was funny.
I had to talk to this guy outside. He's a younger guy, probably my age, and I felt the need to like sell him on the chair, even though he was already here, handed me the money. But I always feel like I'm still like, hey, you should sit in it. And he goes and sits in. It's like, yeah, I've been working from home and my back's been hurt. And I'm like, yeah, mine was too in that chair. I just bought a better one.
I mean, not everybody can afford those
I didn't
chairs.
afford it.
that's
Like I
the
said, it
investment.
was a gift, right? It was a gift. Like
Yeah.
it was a gift. Like I mean, the chair I gave him was a $400 office chair. It was like I just couldn't. I don't know. This one has so much better lumbar support. It is what it is. Facebook Marketplace, they took it.
I mean, I don't have fancy chair like you guys, but this one works out. It does kick my ass sometimes.
Speaks back.
Hey, Budstur, literally 3 weeks ago, I didn't have this
Oh,
chair.
you're doing
Okay,
good, Footy.
I didn't have it 3 weeks ago.
Now, this chair's been pretty good to me, but I do want to upgrade to a chair like yours. It'd be nicer. I mean, because this is a big and tall chair, so it can handle my ass. So that's good. I've had actually, one of those butt pads they have. They're kind of like for your tailbone. I was actually able to stuff it underneath and
There
kind of
you
build
go.
it back up. So it works. I mean, it's pretty stable. Yeah, it squeaks, but
You want to hear? Here, Black might get mad at me. I'll shit on Secret Labs here for a second. So my wife bought me a lumbar. You gonna mute? You gonna mute me? My wife.
I was, but it's talking about lumber.
My wife bought me the lumbar pillow. She thought like that would be a cool gift from her, just a small something, right? Get me the lumbar pillow. And she gets mad at me because I like still talk about it. But so she orders it, and I open the box and I immediately see it, and I'm like, yeah, this is the old chair's model, right? Like the pillow. Like they have this is like the newer generation. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get the lumbar, I'd like to get that one. Well, first of all, Secret Labs does not want to do returns on that. But I find out it's because of hygiene. I'm like, look, we didn't even open it. They're like, okay, you can send it back. You have to pay for shipping and everything. I'm so mad at myself, man. I mean, I basically committed, so I had to do it. I paid $27 at UPS because I unfortunately threw out the cardboard box that came in, had to buy a box from them, all the labeling, blah, blah, blah. $27 to send a $60 pillow back, right? So basically, I paid $33 to not have a pillow is basically what I just did. Dumb.
wow.
Dumb. But I committed. Like, once I found out how much, I was like,
Never again.
I almost wanted to tell the guy, cancel the order. I'm just going to leave with this pillow right now. But I just,
Hey, you live and you learn. I wouldn't do that.
I mean, it's like when
do
you
it once and that was it.
it's like when you fill up your grocery cart and you get to the front and then you like start checking out. You're like, I don't want that anymore. It's like, what do? Do you just take it with you, or do you tell them that
You
awkward
want to hear
feeling?
something about returns?
Go ahead.
I bought my wife AirPod Pros,
Okay.
and they got like the little rubber tips on them. She don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Walmart today, and I went straight back to the electronics. I said I need AirPod third generations. They gave them to me. I opened them right at the counter, and I hand one to the wife. I said, "Does this fit your ear?" She said, "Nope." So we walk up to the service desk and get our money. Didn't even leave the store.
You returned
Didn't leave.
again? You returned the second ones?
Yeah, because they didn't fit her ear. We
The
didn't even
second
leave the store that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I was like, I'm not doing it, Miranda. If it fits, it fits. It don't, it don't. We'll just take it right back.
Are you talking about like with the earbuds? These like little
Yep.
These little
Yep.
things? Yeah.
I love that because I feel like they stay way better.
Oh, I love them. I wouldn't like the AirPod ones. Yeah, like
Yeah.
See, the old
the
AirPods.
Apple ones. I cannot stand them. I have pairs
I
of
like
them,
the new
and
ones.
only because I have Apple and they come with them. I fucking hate them.
These ones, these are the old
Those
AirPods,
don't
right?
stay in my ear.
These stay
Yeah,
just
yeah.
fine. I cut grass in these.
Yeah, I think those are the ones, the wife ones. 'cause
Probably.
those do not stay in my ear.
Yeah,
at
no.
all.
Same.
I would
to each their
literally
own.
stand
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
right,
go,
right. To each their own. That was a lesson a couple weeks ago, for sure.
No, I would have mowed over that fucking AirPod.
Yeah, I love that.
There's $200.
All right,
It would've fallen out.
I got a family question for you. Since I think you've mentioned your son a couple times. You have one son.
Yeah.
Any other kids? Or just one?
No. Yeah, I'm blessed with one child. Yes, he's a 10-year-old little gamer like myself.
There you go.
He's cracked at Fortnite. I'll tell you what.
Wait, did you say his name was Justin?
I was just about to say, is his name Justin?
No, his name's Budstur Jr.
Budstur Jr. There it is.
No, Budstur 40. He's Budstur IV because he I'm actually I'm the third suffix of the family, and it's a family name, so he's the fourth.
Nice.
So his name's Buds. I used to be in Xbox Budstur 44, and I kind of passed off the name to him. So he's Budstur IV.
Yeah.
Like like the four Roman numeral. So no, he's 10 years old. Is my boy. He's really good at video games. Just as one game, if you have time, look up a game called on Roblox.
Yeah.
Called Funky Friday.
Okay. Funky Friday.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, right? So you remember back in the day, you used to play Guitar Hero, right? And you're hitting the buttons and whatnot. So this is a keyboard version of that. So you have notes that come down. And he started a YouTube page. I got him going on that. So I got a camera and he has it down on his keyboard, and we watch him go through the notes. I walk in, I'm like, I hear him smashing keys. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? Right? Because he's been practicing, and stuff like that. I walk in, I'm like, he's a phenomenal at this game. I mean, I've seen him just destroy people.
That's awesome.
And people say like, oh, he's just smashing buttons. No, I sit there and I watch him, and he strategically hits that button as it's needed to be pushed.
Yeah.
He's not just like spamming buttons. It's like he's methodical. It's crazy.
Now, does he also like play an instrument like the keyboard or anything like that, or is just the video game?
It's funny that you mentioned that because he asked for a keyboard for Christmas, and that's what we got him. And he's played it a couple times, but he hasn't. It's like he's like, Dad, Dad, I want a keyboard. So okay, we get him a keyboard, and it just sits in the corner. So, like, are you gonna play that keyboard, bud?
I wonder if it had a connection. So, the guitars, right? Like, there's Rocksmith was for PS4, and I think there's one out for PC too, right? Where you can plug in your electric guitar and like see the notes come up, and it recognizes it. I wonder, like, I'm sure there's that for the keyboard. I'm wondering if that would intrigue him more. Like, I think about, like, if I'm just sitting down to play piano, I don't enjoy playing the piano, but if it tied back to a game in some way, right? Like, where I could see what I was doing and learn that way, it would be more interesting for me, at least. I wonder if it'd be something like that for him, too. Because, obviously, with the game, it's telling him what to hit, right?
Yeah, coming down. Yeah, I don't think he's there yet, but he has showed interest in the keyboard. I've seen him going. I've walked into his room. I see him playing with it a little bit, but he's not. He hasn't put the time in. He's kind of lost a little bit of interest in it. So I want him to do what he wants to do. I don't want to force him, because he's one of those kids. If you force him to do something, he's gonna pull back.
That's me.
And not want to do it. So I just kind of, let him do his thing. And if he wants to come around to it, I'm sure he will. But
I'm gonna do my
he
best
did
to
ask
not
for
have very many controllers around.
Huh?
I'm gonna do my best to not have many controllers laying around.
Yes. and that's the transition he did too. He plays Fortnite on controller still, but when he plays Roblox or other games, he tries to go back and forth to keyboard, mouse, and controller, but for the most part, it's controller for him. So, that's, and I got my wife. I've been married to her for, I don't know. That's it. Do the math.
It's 2022 now.
2009. So 13 on 13 years in February.
Next month.
Yep.
Congrats.
Yep.
13 years in February.
My dad's computer is as old as your marriage.
Yeah, it sucks. It doesn't suck, but it does suck at the same time, because our anniversary is on the 19th of February, and his birthday is on the 15th. of February. So we don't really do a whole lot. It's like everything is focused on, the kid's birthday, and
Sure. And
we
after
might
that
go out to
birthday,
dinner
you
or
want to
something like
just
that, but
relax, right? So is he
yeah,
turning
but
10 or
there's
11?
11.
He'll turn 11.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He's turning 11 this year.
Nice.
So he's we spent most of the day. Woke up this morning, got some lunch, got some haircuts. We went in the backyard, jumped in the trampoline a little bit, kind of hung out and most of the day, and then watched a little bit of Niner game, and here I am. So now he's off playing with his friends.
Nice.
If he's playing with his friends, I don't try to interrupt him too much because when you're at that age, your friends are everything to you.
Sure.
So when he's playing with his buddies, I just let him do his thing. If he comes in here and it's to say, "Dad, do you want to do this?" Most of the time, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll go and hang out with him because he's like, if he's gonna ask me, his old man, hey, you want to go play? I'm gonna do the best I can.
Right.
I can't always, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the Niners game. Obviously, when we got started here, we talked about it briefly, but how long you been a Niners fan?
My whole life. I grew up actually down the street from where the Niners Stadium is at currently, because they obviously were in San Francisco at one point at Candlestick Park until they mowed that son of a bitch down and they moved it an hour south. That's the thing that a lot of people don't know. You remember when the Super Bowl was? Everybody was booking tickets to the Super Bowl and the Niners were in it, and it was against the Chiefs, if I remember right. The Chiefs. Everybody was booking tickets to out of state coming into San Francisco, and then they realized, oh shit, their stadium's not in San Francisco anymore. They got to drive an hour south, to a different city, which is in Santa Clara. They literally built their stadium next to their training facility that they've had for decades.
Sure.
In Santa Clara. So they built it actually right next door is Great America Theme Park. I don't know if you're familiar with it. There's it's kind of like a Six Flags.
I've heard of it. I think I've heard of it. I've never been.
Yeah. So yeah, they built the stadium right next to their training facility in Santa Clara, and that's where I grew up.
Oh, nice.
Born and raised. So yeah, my whole life I've been a Niner fan.
And so
yeah.
And so you're in California?
Yeah, I'm in California.
Nice.
I moved an hour and a half at the time. Well, it still is. It's the Silicon Valley. I'm sure you've heard about it, Silicon Valley, and how freaking expensive it is.
Sure.
It's outrageous, and I refuse to pay. I could, but I refuse to pay that kind of money to live in that area. So I moved, actually, as the crow flies, 35 miles east. But you actually have to drive. There's a big mountain in the way from where I live now to the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. So it's a 91-mile trip.
Yeah.
But no, I bought my house here in 2016, brand new from the ground up.
Nice.
Great price. So, and I still work in the Bay Area, so I actually travel in. I leave about 6:30 in the morning, and I don't get home till 7 o'clock at night. So that's my day. I drive a minimum of 180 miles a day.
And then and then you sit down and you drive some more virtually.
I know, right? People go, you drive 180 miles a day, come home and drive more. I'm like, I don't know what it. Well, probably because I'm home already.
Sure.
And I can get up and go do whatever I want. Because I'm home. It's different, but I mean, I can only stream a couple hours a night. If everything's going well, if we're having like a really good epic time, then yeah, I'll stream more than
Sure.
3-4 hours, but typically it's around 2 to 3 hours. But it's fun. It's everything that has to transpire. Chats rolling, you're having a good time. If I feel like it's kind of dying a little bit, not a whole lot's going on, we're just kind of like in zombie mode driving, I might cut it, or try to create something else, make it more fun. But no, that's it. Recently I went back to Call of Duty just a couple times, just messing around, but ATS seems to be my niche.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Well, so what do you do for work then if you're driving up and you're there that long for the day?
I am in the concrete cutting and demolition industry.
Nice.
I was out in the field from 2000 to 2013, and then they brought me in the office. So I was out there doing the grunt work, cutting, doors and windows, core drilling, street sawing and whatnot. the heavy demo of the industry for 13 years, and then he brought me into the office, and so now I'm an estimator and project manager for the same company. I've been with these guys for going on 20 years, so it's a long time.
Yeah, no,
it's a fun
definitely
industry
is.
because you get to see every corner of the Bay Area.
Just sure. Hoy, if you followed Budstur on Twitch, make sure you go over to Facebook and follow him on Facebook because that's where he mainly streams from.
Yes, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. You don't have to do that, but thank you.
Nah, Hoy,
it's Hoy.
Hoy's a good dude. He'll enjoy it over there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Hoy was our second guest on this. He was our first guest on our second episode, right? Our first episode was just being black. So he was
nice.
He was the first guest of 2021, right? I went to high school with him.
This is how Hoy said the entire time.
Hoy is
I can just imagine him sprawled out like this on his desk.
Hoy is 6'9". Big boy.
Andrew Hoy with the follow. Let's go, baby.
There it is. That's him. He's actually talking. He sent me a link to a CyberPower PC pre-built today, but it actually looked pretty good based on the specs. So he's looking to upgrade. He went from a desktop to a gaming laptop. Now he's like, okay, I gotta go back to a desktop. So
no thermal throttling.
Yeah, you got either in. Yeah. So he said he was going dual PC.
No, he's gonna end up probably selling his laptop and switching back to he thought this was like around COVID starting, right? He went to a laptop because he travels for work and he thought he'd be able to game, and then traveling for work like kind of went away, right? So he didn't really need it to be a laptop anymore, and he's getting frustrated by the fact, he said it's junk. So he's trying to figure out the move. And I've been trying, when I just upgraded pieces, I was trying to tell him like, hey, I'll help you build it. I can go to the Micro Center, pick you up parts, everything like that. But the problem's the GPU, right? You can't get the GPU, so you might have to go to pre-built right now if you want to upgrade. So it's that kind of deal. But yeah, so that's awesome, the concrete work.
Yeah.
And so you got moved in. How long now have you been in the office then?
Since 2013, yeah.
Okay.
So however many years it is.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Don't worry. That's I mean, that's.
Was that 9 years?
What?
Something like that?
Yeah. What's crazy?
9 years.
You mentioned that at the beginning, but I've been thinking about that a lot lately. The last 2 years, ever since. I mean, for me, it's weird, right? I had a kid 3 weeks before COVID started. My first kid, 3 weeks before COVID started. So a lot of life change. Thank you. But a lot of life changes at that time. So it's like, I don't know what's blurring my time more. Is it the kids, right? And that life change? Or is it just the fact that COVID's just pretty much messed up everything that was normal before?
COVID.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It put a damper in a lot of things. I mean, in the beginning, so when COVID hit, it did slow down for like a month, but I had contracts with big jobs. And then when the government decided that, hey, this is what the rules are to going back to work, basically a lot of contracts and things were put on hold, and then shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
Shit hit the fan. And it was pretty crazy. So, I mean, it was good to us, because again, Silicon Valley, I have all the big guys, Google, Facebook, Netflix, all those big companies in the Bay Area. They've got work. They always have work. So it's good. I mean, it's not like you're in the Midwest where when the snow hits and then you're out of work. We don't have to deal with that in the Bay Area. We have to deal with a little bit of rain. But other than that, it's been pretty steady. But yeah, it's great.
It is wild too. You mentioned that, and I think about that, like, the economy hit and things like that, right? It's interesting because to what you mentioned, right? I work in IT, so I work in software development, and I work for a big finance company. We went remote when this all started, right? In middle March, I was on parental leave. Instead of coming back to the office, I just started working from home, and I've been working from home ever since.
Yeah.
My life really didn't change from a work standpoint other than the fact that I wasn't driving. Honestly, I saved money. It's funny. It's like a Geico commercial. save money on car insurance, right? Because I'm now a leisure vehicle. I'm not driving.
Right.
And so gas and all that stuff. But it's like everything else changed. Like my friend from college, good friend from college, got married yesterday. I mean, she got married earlier but small, and now she was having like a bigger thing, and I just couldn't go to it. It's like because there weren't enough in place restriction wise for the people. You didn't have to be vaccinated to go, and like people like the workers didn't have to wear a mask even if they weren't vaccinated. It's just like a lot of that, and you go to a big crowd, and it's like I have a 4-month-old and a 21-month-old. I'm really not trying to get them sick because it's hard enough. I'm sure you remember back when he was that age, right? Like it's hard enough with that young of a kid, let alone when they're sick too, right?
So how do you have a child? How old is he or she? You said it was your
I have two. So I have
two.
yeah. So COVID's been good to me, I guess. Jokes aside, I had one right before COVID started. My wife and I had our first. He will be 2 next month, end of February.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we just had one end of September, our second boy. So we have 2. We're done. No more kids. The plan was always 2. I had to talk my wife into the second one a little bit because the first one was tough. But
she's got to carry it. So
well, it was honestly less of that and more of like our first one does not sleep. He is an Energizer bunny. I don't know how he is going.
I know.
It's crazy. And so it was more of that than anything. Like, they're both healthy and happy, and so that's all you can ask for, right?
That's all you can do.
I'm looking forward to the fact that they're so close in age. They're like 19 months apart, so they'll grow up being hopefully best friends and not beat the shit out of each other. We'll see.
Oh no, they're gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they will. They will.
That's just kind of how it goes because I have 2 younger siblings and we went out all the time. But
I'm the middle of an older and younger brother, so I mean, my wife and I would have been like 3, like when we started dating and everything. But she was like 2. She had just a sister. I just said I don't want an only child personally because I know like I grew up with that benefit like of having my brothers, and I just don't know that I would have been able to raise an only child well. Like I didn't have confidence in myself, basically. But
it's difficult sometimes. Yeah. You wish you had. I wish I had a buddy to play with, but cards didn't work in the favors. So, or else we would have had a second one.
Yeah,
so that's why I say I was blessed with one. So
yeah. No, that's. I mean, that's great, right?
Absolutely.
Honestly, Black and I talked about this last week a little bit because now he has the second girl, right? And he was worried about that. I ended up with both boys, right? And like everybody asked me, did you wish you had a girl? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm 50-50. Like I'm happy for them, but like for me, like raising a girl would have probably changed me more than a second boy for sure. I would have had to adapt. Been a little bit more sensitive. I don't know.
It's easier.
You think
Girls
it's
are
easier
way
with the
easier.
girl?
For now.
100%.
For now. We'll see. We'll see what you
it's just
say
easier, bro.
when she's a teenager. I hate you, Dad.
Nah, I can already see how it's gonna go. She's gonna be a little fucking hermit. Now, Layla, I don't know. She might be a fucking little rocket, but Sophia, she's a fucking hermit. She's already starting her routine. She gets home from school, goes to her room, shuts the door, watches fucking TV.
Yeah. Actually,
Yes.
so
okay, I'm not even here anymore. Cool. Love you too.
you're just getting the cold shoulder now.
Yeah.
Budstur, if you don't mind talking about it, I'm not going to go into like the details of 1, 2, but Hoy mentioned because he had his daughter a little bit after my first, and he mentioned that he's in a pickle on number 2. So many positives and negatives for both sides, right? Do you want to list some positives for an only child?
The positives for him.
For you.
For me.
For you.
He gets everything.
And
for-
the
for
positive
me?
for him is, hey, I want a keyboard for Christmas. I'm gonna get a keyboard for Christmas. You know.
Fucker gets anything he wants. And it's annoying. No, it's well, the positives are obviously. I mean, children are very expensive to. I mean, I think back to how my parents, how they raised 3 kids and
Sure.
took care of 3 children. and was able to keep a roof over the head. It's crazy. Well, I think we're in a different time now where like my mom, she had 5 other brothers and sisters. It's like I think that like I cannot imagine that many children running around the house. Like I would have no time for anything. Like how many kids do you got, Black? You got what, 3? 3
You
kids?
should have said like
And you have
8.
time
It would
to
have been
do this?
It
It
would have
blows
been
my mind.
It would have been funny if you said like you have like 8 kids.
He'd have been like,
No,
no, I got 3, and it's a ride, man. Like today, Mason destroyed this room, and I have yet to clean it because I just don't want to do it. I had the little, like, I got a little on the outside. There's a little chain, like that's way up high, so he can't get it to it. Because I don't want to lock the door because I still want him to be able to come in here, you know, if they need something. So like that's why the chain's up there. Well, he can slip through the chain, which is fine. You know, it's more of a deterrent. Well, he got in here today, and I got Elgato boxes. I have an old desktop all torn out. I got my heat gun dismantled, like in all its accessories out of the box. I got my new monitors box all tore out, foams everywhere. I got this Discover, like, science kit. He's got fucking stain on my wall.
Gee, thanks, bud.
Yeah, very angry.
Yeah. Well, the good thing was one kid, I have to burn it into him. Like, you touch anything in this fucking room, I'm gonna. No,
it would be easier with
my
one.
spot.
Yeah.
All right. I gave you your spot. And it's like he doesn't understand. He's like, Dad, I want a PS5 for Christmas. I'm like, no, I'm not getting you a PS5. Why not? Because your PC's better.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand what you have, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand. Like, there's a lot of kids that in your school, in your grade, that don't have what you have. It's like, well, kids at school, they make fun of me because I don't have a PS5. I'm like, what?
That makes no sense.
You tell them that you have a gaming PC? Like, drop the PC because, like, you know, I don't know. Kids are weird, man. I mean, he's gone through the same things that I'm doing. Oh my god, dude, you're like, I don't know. He
PCMR, baby.
Yeah, drop the PC. I got a gaming PC. What you got?
I was
very limited console.
I was 30, right? I was 30 before I realized what I had been missing. Okay, I relate. He's 10. I wanted the PS. Like I stood in line for my PS4, right?
Yep.
And I probably would have had the PS5 had it come out a couple years earlier. But now, obviously, I know what I have. So, but it took me 30 years to figure that out. A lot of consoles, a lot of consoles through that.
Yeah, it's other plus sides. You know, it's when he wants to spend time. You know, it's easier to pack up the kid and go do something. Just him and I.
Sure.
Yeah.
And whatnot. You know, you don't have to pack up fucking snacks for 3 kids. You know, and make sure you got stuff for the kids. I don't know.
I actually miss that. Being like, hey, Sophia, you want to go to Walmart? And it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. But now it's, hey, Sophia, you want to go to Walmart? And then Bubby comes around and he's like, go bye-bye? And I'm like, no. Yeah. No. And he's like,
like
he's giving me that eye like, you lying bastard.
Don't lie to me, Dad. I know where you're going.
But I mean, I miss that. Yeah. But even now, I just take him with me sometimes too. You know, well, you know.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. I try to spend as much time as I can with him. But like I said, he's into his gaming, and I'm gone 12 hours a day. By the time I get home, he's online. He's with his buddies, you know, playing Fortnite or Roblox or whatever he's doing. So, and like I said, I remember being at that age, and I didn't want to be bothered by my parents. I'm like, I'm playing with my friends. That's where he's at right now. But when he wants to do something, then
I will tell you, having a middle child sucks because he's a dick. He does not like Layla. I caught him just today. I disciplined him for something. I was like, hey, you're going to go to your room for a little bit. You know, like this. Go. And he fucking puts on his pout face. gets all fucking pissed off, stomps his foot, and he's like walking past his sister that's laying on her little tummy time mat, sees her legs sticking out of the mat, and just goes up to it and brushes it, and she gets all pissed. And I'm like, Mason, I just watched you purposely do that. What the fuck, dude? He's just craving that attention.
He's a middle child. I'm going to stand by Mason. I'm going to defend him as a fellow middle child and say he probably feels left out. Black, you offered to take Sophia. You offered to take Sophia to Walmart.
He
and you
never
said,
warmed up to me until he got off the boob. So we talked about this in past episodes.
I'm just saying.
Well, if he wasn't such a raging dick all the time, I'd be more than happy to take him everywhere.
Maybe he was raised by one, you know?
Nuh-uh. His mom's... Well, never mind.
I was saying you.
Oh, no. I'm nice as could be.
Uh-huh.
I love my kids.
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on. You can't be that perfect.
No, I need like a stream.
Oh, you
like,
remember what he said? He didn't have...
right?
You remember what he said?
Pushing my kids out of here.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
And it's mostly Mason.
God damn it.
Actually, you know what? That is interesting. Now that you bring it up, I'm going to go through the VODs. All right?
It's Mason. Every
No.
time.
No.
Bull.
No, you're going to let me finish here. I'm going to defend
Okay,
this middle child.
Go on.
We're going to go through the VODs chat, and we are going to see that every time Sophia comes in, come on in. Talk to the microphone. Come on, Sophia. Mason, is that you? Get out of here. That's what we're going to find out. That's what we're going to find out.
I've had to replace one of these, like the phone. Oh, dude. And what he did to my room just like says it all. That's what he does.
Because you
He's
kick
a fucking ass.
Because
and I love him to death.
Because you kick him out of the room. He sees that Sophia gets to come in and talk to people on the mic.
I've let him do it once or twice.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
He's just so aggressive.
So there's this Twitch streamer, right? I don't know if you heard of him, but his name is Daddy Gus. Right, he's on TikTok too, and he's a big dude. He's all tatted up and stuff like that. But he does these skits about how the oldest acts, the middle child, and the youngest acts. Like the oldest is like, "Yes, father, I'll do whatever you say."
I know what you're talking about.
Right? Yeah, and then the middle child's like, whatever, dad. Like, and then the youngest child's like, fuck you, father. I hate you, and I'm doing whatever I want. Dude, it's hilarious. Yeah, man. He does so many of these. You got the kid who behaves, you got the spoiled, and then the asshole.
Bro. Layla's gonna be the okay, so like Sophia's pretty spoiled, but I have a feeling that Layla's just gonna take the cake. It's gonna be bad. Because she and her mother, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. So far, so good with a single child.
No,
yeah,
awesome.
like I said, I grew up in a multi-child household, so
same. Lots of kids.
So this is obviously new to me, just having children in general, and a child in general. But I'll do the best I can. I'll always try and provide, as any father should.
Right.
Correct.
You know you bring up like a lot of good points. Like I look at, like, I always looked at an only child as like I'd have a hard time saying no, right? Because you have, it's easier to say no when you have two, and it's like you're a little bit more limited. When you have one, you're not able to, you want to give them everything, right? You answer those things for them. But then,
you're right, Black.
What happened?
He had a twitch.
You okay?
He's kind of focused.
I'm good.
Okay. Sorry about that. I saw you kind of like do this little like.
I think it was a cold chill.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
Oh
just,
no,
like, I'm
you're
looking,
good.
I'm like,
I didn't see him.
Okay.
I could like I had that cold chill and I just like I couldn't focus back.
okay.
I just got like a headache or something. I'll be good.
Okay.
Are
Sorry
you
to see
sure you're?
this.
No, you're good. Are you sure you're good?
I'm
Black.
good.
All right.
I don't. Okay. Sorry. All right. Let's get back to.
All I was saying is like with one, you start to be able to do those kind of things for them, right? Because you're one, it's like you said, expenses when you start to get to two and things like that. But it's also the time. Like if you have two, now you're like, or three, now you're like, one wants to do this and one wants to do that, and like you can't be 10 different places at once. So it's definitely a lot of pros and negatives of both sides. So,
Yes. Absolutely.
but it's good. So did he start on, or did you start on a console? And if so, which console did you actually did you start on gaming?
Nintendo, Atari 6400.
Nice. We had one in our garage. I remember. I plugged it in. I was like, no, we're not going to do this.
No, I was the gamer kid. I went from the 6400 to the Nintendo, to the Super Nintendo. To was it? Well, the Super Nintendo was the Nintendo 64, right? That was the Super Nintendo.
There's two different ones, right? There's two different ones.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like the Nintendo, then the Super Nintendo, then the Nintendo 64, and you get into like the GameCube and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So then I end up from there. I think I got the I got a PlayStation 2.
Okay.
And then there was a big gap in between, and then I got the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and to PC.
So which
I actually have there. My Xbox One is right there.
I can see it.
It just sits there on the platform. So
which one did you start playing online games on then? Do you remember? PS2 I think had the capability, but I wasn't playing on PS2. I think mine was PS3.
No, I started streaming after I got the PC.
Not streaming, just playing multiplayer. Like, did you? I'm guessing Halo on maybe the Xbox might have been one of the first things.
What was it? It was Call of Duty online, and I remember getting the Xbox 360.
Okay.
It was a 2000 and oh man, 2006.
It was probably one of the. It was either
Call of Duty 4, maybe
4. I think you're right because that was the one right before Modern Warfare 2, right?
Yes, yeah. Because I remember I had no idea you can play online multiplayer. Like it was completely new to me.
I think it was right around that time. I think it was right around that time. Yeah.
The first time I played online was actually with my boss.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, Xbox. We can go Xbox Live and we can play video games together." And was it Rainbow Six Siege or
I think
around that time?
Yeah.
Probably been like Rainbow 6, like Vegas.
I think it started
Vegas
with
was
that, and then shortly after,
huge on the Xbox 360.
Yeah. So I think that was the first time I went online because I'm like, I put on the headset. I'm like, okay, how does this work? And all of a sudden, it's like I'm talking to my boss,
new
like,
world.
Yeah.
What? Right? And then all of a sudden, he goes, "Oh yeah, we can play games together on Rainbow Six." I'm like, "Wait, what? You can?" And so we end up playing like online, like we're in, like he was 90 miles away, and we're playing
Right
on the same game together. I was just kind of mind blown. Like and that was it from there.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, and then I'm sure you experienced the release day server issues everybody experienced, right, with Call of Duty. Like those are always fun times.
Oh yeah.
I just went, stood in line. I come home. I try to play, and we're all in a party chat talking. It's like, is it loading for you? Nope, not loading for me. All right, how long are we gonna wait for this? I think it's coming up now. All right, let's play one game and go to bed. It's like, yeah, man. Every single time, man. Every single time.
Yeah, my wife knew what she was getting into in the beginning because there's a lot of times I'd come home from work in 4 hours of playing Call of Duty. And she's like, so she knew what was because we lived together, about 6 months after we met, we moved in together, and it's like I knew she was the one. So
you mentioned that. It's actually funny because, so I mean, when I first started dating my wife. It was middle of summer, so Call of Duty has died down. You're getting ready for the next one, right? So I get the next one, and I start playing. And early on in a relationship, she would actually get me like snacks, energy drinks, snacks and stuff, right?
The
Like,
good
oh,
old
I'm
days.
getting
Well, mine.
like, well, so that she would get that stuff, right? And like, it was funny because she has made the comment to me before. Call of Duty for me would only last about till Christmas, January, February, maybe, and then like the rest of the time I might play like once a month, not like every night for hours.
Uh-huh.
Fortnite came around when I started playing Fortnite in 2018. That was a different story. It literally hasn't stopped in 4 years, like every night playing it every night for hours. And like, she's made that comment before. She was like, Call of Duty was okay because you would only do it for a couple months at a time. And then that was it. And with Fortnite, it's like every day. So it's definitely been a pressure point for sure.
Yeah, there was. It's funny that you mentioned because like go through these periods. So I think what was it that just came out in 2011? That's when my son was born, February 2011. What was it? Black Ops that came out at that time?
I'd have to count back.
Yeah, it was something.
It's probably
like that,
something like
I think
that.
My wife bought me
Black Ops.
bought me the game. Black Ops.
I think you're right. I think that's the one that had the zombies. 2011 probably would have been the one with the good zombie map on it, right after World at War or whatever. Right?
Yeah, something like that. So after he was born, I played for a few months after he was born, like my normal schedule, 3-4 hours a night. And then something happened and I lost all interest in video games. I literally lost interest in video games. And then I didn't start playing video games again. I think I played a little bit of Minecraft, but then I jumped there was like a 7-year gap of playing video games. There's a big gap, and I had no interest in. I mean, I always had the Xbox, but it just sat there. And then not recently, but I got into Fortnite around season 4 or 5
of chapter 1 of the original chapter.
The original chapter, yeah. And then that's when I really got back into gaming. So there was a big gap in between of literally no gaming at all. So
Nitro said it was 1 in 2011.
So it was just Black Ops. Yeah.
It was just the regular Black Ops, which I think that it went Modern Warfare, then it went
Black Ops, right?
Well, I thought when was World at War? Wasn't it World at War and then Black Ops?
Yeah, that was actually my favorite version of Call of Duty. Was World at War.
You just can't beat Modern Warfare 2 for me. Just can't do it. I don't know what it was. The multiplayer. I mean, maybe not campaign or whatnot, but multiplayer was just on another level for me. It's probably because I don't think I played maybe World at War was before Modern Warfare 2. I can't remember now.
It's funny. My pops just jumped in the chat. He goes, "Bring back Pong and Kaboom."
Yeah.
That's old school. That's the Atari right there.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry, Tony. Is it Tony? I'm so sorry. He misunderstood our joke the other night.
He did.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
It's you mentioned. So I fired up the GameCube and played GameCube NBA Live 2003, like maybe 2 weeks ago. Because I have like the adapter where you can take it to HDMI, so like I can stream my GameCube if I want to. So I mess around with that every once in a while now. It makes it fun.
I've never had the GameCube or the Wii.
The GameCube was the most durable freaking gaming system that I've had. I'm sorry, whatever they did right with the GameCube, they should do in every single console that they make. Because you have my PS4 sits here underneath my desk. I play it every once in a while. The disc thing, all of a sudden it'll just start running, right? It'll just be spitting out discs. I'm like, this is frustrating. You mentioned Nintendo. You blew in the thing. And Sega Genesis, you blew in the thing, right? To get it working. That GameCube, when you press the power button, it was playing. I've never knock on wood because I probably just fucked it up.
Just fucked everything.
But anyway, every disc I put in, nice tiny little disc, works. Beautiful thing.
Was it those little tiny,
Yeah, little tiny little, like,
the size of a $50 or something like that? You're
yeah,
like, "What the hell is
basically.
this?"
Yeah, it's very interesting how small it is.
Size of a cookie.
Yeah. The bummer is like apparently there was a bottom that you could attach to it to play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games in it, like on the TV, and I never knew that. And if I did, I would have owned one. I've been looking, but I don't think they exist anymore. But so that's all. So yeah, then you started way back with some older games, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, my parents had it. I mean, we played it every once in a while, but I would say for me it was the Nintendo, which
Christmas of '89 for me with the Nintendo, and my parents, they sacrificed a lot to make me happy. It was when it was just me. I think my brother was, or sister was 2 at the time, but they sacrificed a lot. Looking back at it now, what they gave me, and I remember I asked for a Nintendo, and Christmas of '89, I look at this package, I picked it up, and I knew instantly what it was.
He's like,
And I was so, I'm like, I looked at him, I'm like, oh, this is a
it's
Nintendo.
Like
I'm like,
Christmas Story when he gets the fucking BB gun.
Yeah. It's a Red Ryder BB gun.
Red Ryder.
Well, he's so devastated
so-
at first, right? Like they just don't have it out there, and then he brings it out of the closet or whatever it is. But yeah, no, it's awesome.
No, I'll never forget that day, man. And then they actually ended up getting me. I don't know if you guys remember it, but there was an Olympic game that you're able to plug a little. Remember, like Dance Dance Revolution, where there's this thing you're on, but they actually came out with a gamepad that you can jump on and run on.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you don't remember that, it was like you can do hurdles or something like that. You can, so you're on this pad and you're running and you can jump, and then he would jump over the hurdles. So I remember that, and a lot of Mario Brothers, of course, and but not a whole lot of people remember that gamepad. It was so, I guess, revolutionary, especially with the Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt was amazing. Duck Hunt was amazing.
How does this work?
Duck Hunt was fun.
And then you start to cheat, and you're like, I'm just gonna put this thing right against the TV to make sure I hit it every time. You know.
Yes.
Everybody did that. There's no way you didn't, right? Like you were like, it's right up against. I'm not missing this bird.
Yeah, you're up on the screen. Gotcha.
And then that dog comes out. That graphic is great.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, dog.
Yeah, right.
You're trying to shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It was great.
Who didn't try to shoot the dog? Raise their hand.
Yeah,
me.
right. But you mentioned the Nintendo. I bought these when Switch made these available, right? So you can.
Oh,
this
cool,
is
man.
This is a Switch Joy-Con, right? I have 2 of them, so you can play like the old Nintendo games on the Switch. I had to get it, you know.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no. When they I picked up that the original, not it's the original, but it's the Nintendo, the new version of the Nintendo, where you can buy and it's got all the games.
The little box, the little one, right? It's like mini.
That was like $60. Yeah. I ended up picking up one of those. I'm trying to actually figure out how to stream that. That would be cool.
Does it
like
have Does it have like the AV out, or does it have an HDMI out?
No. HDMI, yeah.
Oh, then you should be able to do it just with a capture card. But Black, you're muted for us, but I'm pretty sure you're saying the same thing.
Easy.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out because it always makes my going dual PC. I guess Black, you're gonna have to educate me. I've tried, I've had it working, but it flashes a lot, and I don't know if I'm doing it right. I mean, I have the internal
Honestly,
4K Pro, and I
okay.
have the external.
Change it to like you can change your 4K Pro. Like there's different profiles, and you can set it for like a default 1080p, 1440, or 1440 for the 4K. And I guarantee you it's a refresh rate issue.
Okay.
Like if you went and you just got like a HD 60 Pro, you probably wouldn't even see an issue, because the 4K is I had a lot of issues with it when I got it, and it would do the same thing. It would flash, or it wouldn't show anything, or it would just show the top, or it would just roll the screen.
Yeah, I
Well,
ended
we
up.
could talk about that another time, but yeah, it was. I tried even because the one game that I do want to play is the show MLB The Show. Of course, it's only on console. I did it for a minute, but it just wasn't working. So
I ended up taking his advice. And Vibrant Panda, who was in the chat earlier, might still be here. He used a very cheap Amazon stream capture card.
Yep.
And Black told me to ask him. I asked him, got the link. I bought that, $35 or whatever it was. I play my Switch on it. I play my PS4 on it. I play my GameCube on it. The only thing I had to get right was the audio so I could hear the game. But that was just in stream or OBS was just setting it to output to me too from the capture audio. The only thing I have to do usually is I have to like turn it off, like turn the capture card. So it's just like a capture block, I guess, right? Whatever. I have to unplug it and plug it back in when I go to fire it up because for whatever reason it doesn't automatically refresh in. It could be because it's cheap, or it could be because it just needs a refresh with my my PC. But it works great. All those systems that have HDMI. I can send you a link to it if you want. I can send you the exact same one I bought. I don't know how it would be with a dual PC setup. Obviously, that's a different story, and Black might be able to help.
That's the issue, because if single PC, no problem. But when you add a second PC to the whole mix, I don't know. Then it gets a little different because it's like the audio. Got to make sure the ins and outs are good. But I'm sure he knows a lot about that. But
I guess if you're playing. If you're going to play a console, you don't really need your gaming PC then, right? So your second PC would just be your console, right? Like that would be your device. That might work, something like that.
But then you got the Go XLR that goes to the gaming PC. You know what I mean?
So you have the Go XLR going to the gaming. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean,
audio.
He does it the opposite of like every way. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you have your Go XLR going to your streaming PC.
I only have one.
Go XLR, but I
your
streaming rig. Everything goes to my streaming rig, and then that's that.
Oh,
so you could.
I was told that the Go XLR. The only thing it
Go
goes
XLR
to
recommends that you do it all on your gaming rig. But in my logic, that's defeating the fucking purpose of having two computers. You're wanting to do less software on your game rig. So why are you plugging in a Go XLR that has proprietary software that is causing your rig to run just that much slower? That's my theory. I mean, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
It'd have to work, but
Yeah.
But that makes sense. I mean,
I've done it on a dual PC with a Go XLR.
Yeah, I mean, if you already have a capture card, like an external one to try it with, it probably is. Yeah, then it's probably just more of like getting it to work with the dual PC setup, right? I don't know. I mean, you could always buy the cheap one.
Yeah, it's the Elgato 60S Plus or something like that, Plus S. But then I realized that you're going to have those issues as far as the because I guess they only put out 1080p when you have a 1440 monitor, and then it would reduce the frames down as well too, right?
If you wanted to. It took some finagling, but I got mine to stream 1440. Like my base resolution canvas is 2560 by 1440. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could say that for another day.
Yeah.
When you have time, you can, I don't know, or send me some links or something like that. That'd be great. But
no problem. I can do that.
Okay. But yeah.
No, it's fun, right? Sometimes you get somebody in who just wants nostalgia, right? And you play something that's older, and people enjoy that, even if it's not like an everyday. Like if you found ATS is like your niche, right? And like that's where you go. Yes. But like every once in a while, it's like, hey, I'm gonna turn back the clock today, and we're gonna have some fun with this one. And people like that. They might not like it every day because, obviously there's a reason why technology is advancing. It gets a lot better, but it's kind of cool to relive something.
Yeah, I mean, it even gets to the point, right? I mean, this is how. I mean, it even gets even worse. Like you thought the katana was bad, but then you bring the
The
suicide
wheel.
ball into it. Then you bring the suicide ball into it.
It's awesome.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's awesome.
I don't know. I just thought it was cool, man. I'm like, hey, I'll buy the ball, I'll buy the shifter, and kind of go at it. But no,
I love it though, Budster. It's enjoyable to watch.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I mean, where else would I go at 11 o'clock at night to give someone shit for no reason?
Oh, look at this.
Thanks. I'm glad I'm that guy.
Food behind you. Food behind you.
Thank you, baby. I love you.
I watched someone play through Heavenly.
I'll yeah.
Gosh,
Oh, that's fine.
that'd have been a fun show.
Well, we're actually winding down anyway. We're getting close to our 2-hour mark. We like to run these for about 2 hours. That way it makes for a good video for somebody to listen to or watch, whatever they choose to do on YouTube. Black. So actually, you know what? Here's one question I have that I didn't get a chance to ask yet. How did you run into Black Hack 2K? Right? How did that transpire?
It's very interesting. I tell you what, it was. I remember that night. It was cool, man. I'm sitting here playing Call of Duty. He comes in. He jumps in the chat under his Black Hack name, and we just ended up. He started talking about audio. So I didn't know who he was. I mean, I'm just trying to do my thing, and he's asked me a question about audio and whatnot, and I end up following him back, and we're talking stuff like that, and then one night he just decides that he's like surprised me with actually, if you see my logo, which is that B, he did that for me out of the kindness of his heart. He redid my whole stream, which was phenomenal. I mean, I felt like I was obligated. I have to give you something for something. I mean, I know he didn't ask for it, but I felt like I had to give him something. But everything you see in my stream, to my page, my logo, even if you see my desktop, he did this whole desktop background for me. That was all a surprise. And
I had fun.
He thought you were cute, is what you're saying, huh?
I mean, look at me.
Now,
I mean, the nice G haircut, tattoos, the beard, bro. I mean, how do you not bypass me? Yeah, so now it was pretty cool, man. And nobody's from the streaming like, hey man, let me work on your graphics, bro, for free, man. Like, he just offered it up, man, and I appreciate him for that. And that's how I met him. He just popped in my stream one night. We're talking about audio, and that's all she wrote. I mean, how long ago was that? 200 plus days ago.
Wow. It's been.
It was a while.
it's gonna Black smirking because what Black? What's it been? It's been coming up on 2 years at this point. I could probably go back and find out the exact first message he wrote in my chat because it was very similar. Let me tell you, right?
That's how I find everyone.
Yeah. This is when he was still on Twitch, right? This is in 2020. I just got a PC. It's very, very similar. Where it's like, hey, and kind of blossom from there.
206 days.
So it's just over 206 days ago. So it's like a couple of days plus or minus, but you guys going on 2 years. That's crazy, man. Now that's very nice of you, dude, to do something like that and take time out of your day.
I knew him before they fixed the screws in his head,
True, you did. Yeah. Like 4 months.
Yeah, before he went, it was before he went full time. Like he was not full time streaming.
It's still a hobby.
He came in and just, what's up kind of deal. And I went back over, and I can't tell you how many nights I was done gaming and just stuck watching this guy stream, Like I'm like
It's like the
mesmerized.
lawnmower simulator.
Why the fuck am I sitting here still? It's time for bed. I got work in the morning. And once again, this is before he went full time. So he was not,
Yeah.
he was doing his streaming late at night, right? He was doing his streaming like I
When the
was.
kids and
yeah.
everyone was asleep. Yep.
So
Yeah. Late night streamer. I get it.
that was awesome. I'm glad to hear. I mean, I haven't heard many people give me that same story, right? Where I mean, although he does say he meets a lot of people that way, not a lot of our guests have been people that have said he found them, right? That's how I'm defining it, right?
Mhm.
Black found me, not the other way around. A lot of people who've been on here either found me or Black found them, or sorry, they found Black, right? Not many people. It's like I found somebody or Black found somebody, right? They usually find
No,
us.
that's cool, man. I remember. Yeah, it was pretty cool, dude. I mean, especially when you have some makeshift. I don't know. You do what you can on your own to make your pages whatever
Good
it
as you
could
can.
be. But then you have somebody who has some
Skill.
actual experience in graphic designing and doing things from scratch and making something unique that's literally one of a kind for you. That's just, I don't know. It's just, it's pretty
well,
awesome.
I'm so sorry. Oh
Oh,
my
he's
God,
showing-
Caesar, I'm
he's
not
showing
doing
dank.
it again.
He's
I'm
showing
not
dank.
doing it again.
He's working on danks.
Oh.
You know,
Well,
it's,
you're not working at it right now, right? Because it's about me.
no,
not
Budstur, Budstur, he is Budstur. This is not the first time, you know,
Oh.
that it's the second time. The
No,
first.
honestly.
Do you
I
remember
just
who it
sitting
was the
here-
first time? Do you remember who it was the first time? I know.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Kubota.
Yes, it was. Good job.
Ah,
Hey, at
fuck,
least you
it
knew.
was.
At least you knew. He was
You
actually.
didn't let me live it down forever.
He was actually working on something, I think, for me at that time. But you know, it's I was so he's I advertise, he advertises, right? That like go check out my stream and my stream to see all the graphics work that he does, right? He like, and I'm like, absolutely brand it. Like I love I love the things you create. I want you to take credit for them. I
No,
actually
No
yes
way.
I want you to.
I don't put my shit on him.
Oh,
That's
he doesn't.
What you said to do in the beginning.
Yeah, he doesn't put like his like initials. Well, so I just texted him the other day, right? I said, "Hey, go look at my about page, like on Twitch," and I was like,
Yeah.
I
look really
I was
good.
so happy. Like I took things that he has given me, right, and then morphed some panels out of it, and I was so happy. I was like, "Look at that! Like, look how good I did." But it took me fucking probably 20 years compared to his like 20 minutes, you know. It happens when you know what you're doing.
This reminds me of the time that Caesar sent me his logo. Right? It was all on like a piece of paper, or what was it on?
He talked about you a lot, Caesar. I mean, like he was like, while he was working on my stuff late night, he's like, "Oh yeah, check out Caesar's. I'm working on his right now. Like this is cool. Dude.
Well,
check this out." I'm like, "That's pretty nice."
Caesar's my downtime guy. Like when I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
learn something, that's my guy.
I usually have a
But
lot of
he's all
ideas. I
done.
just can't
He's
do
not
it.
done though. Like I have no one else, and so I experimented on Budstur. That was right after I got done with your whole rebrand. Is when I found Budstur. Yeah, and then
That
I
was
turned Budstur
awesome.
into a little animal for a moment.
An animal.
Yeah.
See, that's something I want to get into. Is I just wish I had more time to do that whole graphic designing thing. So I mean, it seems real difficult, but it's like one of those things that you learn along the way
Sure.
of all the tricks. Because I sat there and watched him do his thing, and I have no idea. Like I'm a little tech savvy, but when it comes to graphic designing, it's just a whole different beast.
It is.
So for him to do that, dude, I'm very grateful. You
I had
kind of,
fun doing it.
yeah, it was pretty awesome, man. And my dad, I'm sorry, my son, he comes in here because my dad's popping out of stream. My son comes in right when he was done with the background, the whole Budstur, the shadows, the smoke, and everything like that. He goes, "Oh my God, Dad, that's so cool." I'm like, "Yeah, Black Hack made it for me." And so I showed him her profile. And so I took the file and I sent it to him, and that's on his background too. So
Nice.
it's not mine. So because he's Budstur technically too,
Yeah.
just
Still repping that B.
So that's what's on his PC too. That's his background. So it's it goes beyond just me. Now my son's got it on his screen and he loves it. Oh,
So I
it was done.
I'll say so. I have one final question. I don't know if Black will have one, but you just alluded to it, and I said I wanted to come back to it. Please give me this non-eventful story of Budstur. You said it was non-eventful, but I still want to know. I still want to know where the name comes from.
Okay, the year was 1992. Okay, so AOL had just come out.
Sure.
Okay. My AOL name is Budstur@AOL.com. I still use it to this day. It's not the only one that I use. I've got other ones, but I still have that on my phone only because it's the original. Okay. Story is that it was a childhood dog of mine.
Okay.
Okay. His name was Bud. And I'm like, hey, Bud, what's going on? Hey, come here, Budstur. Come here, Budstur.
Yeah.
Like, rah, 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 right? And so that's when AOL came out. And I decided that I'm going to make my name Budstur, right? So I go online and I put in Budster.
And it's taken.
Taken.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck, right? What do I do next? I'm like, let me just replace the E with the U. Let's see what that does. And there it is. And it's been like that ever since, dude. And you know what's cool is that it's worked for me my entire like gaming. It's never been taken. Like going to Xbox, Budstur. I mean, I use Budstur 44 only because the number 44, my favorite number is 44 or 4. But Tom Rathman with the Niners, he was like an iconic 90s running back with Joe Montana, and I idolized him. I actually met him in real life. He was a great dude. So it was Budstur 44. But moving to Twitch, Budstur wasn't taken. Facebook, Budstur wasn't taken. Like Budstur at gmail.com wasn't. It all worked across all platforms. But yeah, that's how I got the name. I had a dog. His name was Bud, and I always called him Budstur. And he meant a lot to me at that time. And yeah, I just been rolling with the name ever since. Now, other people think otherwise, but hey, what's up, Bud? What's up, Budstur? Hey, what's up, Bud, bro? I'm like,
Budstur.
huh? What? I don't. That devil's lettuce. No, I'm kidding.
It's awesome.
I'll partake from time to time. I mean, I'm not against it, but it's just something that I used to do.
Sure.
A lot. And then my son was born, and then something happened in my brain, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Like I got super
paranoid, bro. With alcohol,
I couldn't do it. Like when we had Sophia, it was like I don't even drink. Like I've had the most drink I've ever done is golfing with Caesar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we stream that? Like, is that VOD out there somewhere?
That was it. It is.
That VOD out there because you were.
And that was almost a fucking year ago. It feels like
this man. Like, we went through a whole dadcast. He wasn't drinking, or maybe he had one.
I don't
remember. But all of a sudden, we're in this game of PGA Tour with what we were doing was after the dadcast originally. Like, we had a couple people. Who Black DVD mentioned he wants to do that again at some point. I don't know if we will, just because like it is a lengthy night at that point. But anyway, all of a sudden this guy is like done. Like he can't play. Like it's really bad to watch. He's like he can't hit the ball where it needs to go. It was like, and it was twisted tees, bro. It was literally twisted tees.
I love twisted tees.
Like it wasn't anything crazy. It was like all of a sudden he was done on twisted tees.
It's because like I used to be a really heavy drinker. And then coming into it and then drinking like I normally would, just chugging it.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Yeah. But that's awesome. I mean, every gaming, I'm sorry. I have to keep pointing out when I see things, I have to keep pointing them out. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
You're on the other side of the country, Budstur. Okay. I'm over near, I'm from Pittsburgh, but I live outside of Philadelphia right now. You're on the other side of the country. But Black Hack found you by coming in for graphics, right? Talking to you about that. Well, audio and then graphics. Okay. Your gamer name. So my Caesar name comes from my. I mean, we had a couple dogs growing up, but like our black lab when I was like a teenager, when we got a black lab, his name was Caesar. And because he was like, what is the AKC or whatever that registration, right?
Mhm.
You register with 3 names of purebred, right? And it was our last name's Roman. So it was Caesar's Roman Empire was the dog's name. So when I created my
Cool.
PS3 like online name, I'm like, okay, I need a name. All right, let's do Caesar, but my initials are CER, so let's switch. And I did Empire Roman, okay? And PSN is like, that's too many characters. So I had to I had to make something change. I condensed the Caesar from CAESAR, right? Like Caesar salad, right? To CEZR. But basically what I'm getting at is dog name is my username too. That's exactly
Nice.
what mine comes
That's
from.
cool. All right,
So-
so I'm not the only one.
Not the
Okay,
only
good.
one.
I thought
Not
I was
the only
going
one.
crazy.
Honestly, the worst name here is Black Hack 2K.
Agreed.
Facts. I mean,
I think
no,
about
it's not.
changing it all the time. I know it's stunting my growth. I know it is, but
I don't think
I
so.
like it. No,
Really?
it is. I'm a COD streamer, bro, and I have hack in my name.
So what?
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I think you're doing well for yourself.
I mean, your
Oh, I
game,
agree.
your
I'm
gameplay. Hey, your gameplay
No,
has gone a
but
little
first
downhill from
impressions-
hacking. You know.
First impressions, dude, mean a lot. And my name is a huge first impression.
Yeah, they'll think you're a
Well, yeah,
bum,
think about
and
it.
they'll come in to give you toxic
think about
comments.
It for a second. Think about it for a second. I have had 6 videos over 500,000 views on Facebook. I've had 3 over 1 million. I've had 1 over almost 2 million.
Sure.
And I only have 2,000 followers. And you go to my comments, and I have thousands of comments, and they all say the same thing.
Mm.
So
Might have to think about it then.
it's all I think about.
What do you mean? What is it that they say in
It's just
repetition?
accusations, and like they're not even watching me. They're just like seeing like a one-off clip of me killing someone because I get lucky.
Gotcha.
But
I
Because your
actually,
name has hacker, they just assume that you're hacking.
immediately, I
I
have hundreds of thousands of comments.
I let somebody have it at the
Yes, Hoy,
yesterday.
this is for you and Charles.
Yesterday, I was tired. I was tired of not getting a win on Caldera, and we
wait.
came in second. We came in third. What?
Oh, sorry. No, go. I'm like.
You're fine. The third place, there was a hacker in the game, right? Won the game. The hacker won the game, and I let him have it at the end of that. I mean, I didn't let him have it. I was like, if only there was a cheat to make your dick bigger, you know? Like, I was just so over it. I'm like, I don't know why you get jollies off of this. This is the most annoying thing ever. You're ruining people's like enjoyment of a video game, and like that is the worst quality for me for somebody to do, right? You're taking somebody else's happiness away because that's their sole purpose. It's not to enjoy the game. They're not. What are you enjoying? You're clicking a button. Like, you're not enjoying anything.
So,
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
aside from all the hacking and whatnot, someone brought up my shirt, Fastenal. Do you do a lot of work with Fastenal?
Yeah, we do. We get a lot of bolts
I
and
used
stuff
to
like that
do a
fast now.
crap ton of work with Fastenal, and I walk into their building one day and they hand me this.
Other than the Fastenal shirt,
Oh,
a
Milwaukee bag.
Nice.
Oh,
I tell you what, we have no, or is it not? It's Hilti. I'm sorry, the other red company.
I
That's
love
cool,
it, though.
man.
I love it. I just thought that was funny. I figured I'd give Charles a little kick.
yeah. Well, so yeah, definitely think about changing your name. Any pets you've had in the past? Budstur and I both
Ben.
recommend that. Like that's a good thing to
Ben
go
and
off of.
Roxy. This is 2 pets I've ever had.
Fluffy.
How much you want for that bag? Ain't selling it. I don't even know if they still sell them. Or did they sell them? I don't know. All I know is I walked in there like, here, Chris. I was like, "Love you."
Bender on the rocks. Bender on the rocks. You know, it's a long name. You can try something else, maybe. You know, we'll think of something.
It's Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
It's not Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Oh, man. Well, so Budstur, It was great actually getting to meet you. I know
Yes,
I've
yes,
seen
man.
you in Black's channel. And like I see the logo, right? I see the chats. I'll definitely do my best to stop over and see you doing some driving. It's always harder for the platform changeover, but I'll do my
I
best.
totally understand, man. If you swing by, great. If you don't, I understand that people have lives too, and they got their own schedules. So if you stop by, great. If you don't, hey man, I appreciate
I want to
you.
see. I want to see. I want to see
It's
the
fun.
driving. Yeah. I want to see. And you know,
It's
don't
very
worry.
immersive.
Don't worry. The third thing that we have in common is after the graphics, right? After coming and showing what a nice guy he is. Yeah, he likes to bust your balls, so he does that to me too. So
He does. I'm like, this motherfucker.
yeah, right.
That's how you know I love you.
Calling me
First
out
they're
my
sweet,
shit.
and then they're sour. Am I right? Like, oh, there you go,
Sour
Sour
Patch.
Patch Kids. There you go. Name that. Name yourself that.
So
Nah, it's all in good fun. I know he doesn't mean it. He's just in there to bust my balls, and
it's a good time. It's a good time.
But,
Sometimes we need that, right? Sometimes we need that ball busting.
Hey, I have fun.
It's all that matters.
same.
There was one time I pissed off Caesar so bad I actually started to wonder if I ruined our friendship.
There's enough times that he's done that. It's not just one.
There's only one that I will attest to that I crossed the line.
There's enough times. Like he has to read the room, you know? Like when I'm already having a bad day, that's not the time.
That's when I do it.
My
and
balls
that
are
was the
already
day-
busted.
That was the day that I was like, I took it too far. I am sorry. And I did. I texted you and I apologized.
That's all.
But I
it's
didn't
all good.
apologize for laughing. So
It's fucked up, Black.
Yeah.
Fucked up, dude.
But hey, like I've told everybody of last year, right? You're more than welcome to be on again if you want.
what's up, boy.
Something changes in the future, you know, you want to talk about it with us, you know, kind of, I mean, outside of just normal conversations, but like, you know, you want to get on here and spend a couple hours talking to us, shooting the shit. We'd love to have you back on always.
Hit me up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hit me up. I like a good conversation.
I love it.
Sweet.
And that was the
That's a
other
good-
thing. There's so many things we have in common right now. I'm loving it. I'm serious. Like you jumped on the moment you said we were both watching the 49ers game. I got this bum. He's co-hosting with me. I don't think he could tell you what a tight end is unless it was.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even in the least.
Yeah. So,
No,
yeah.
I had a good
My
time.
ruin,
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a good vibe. It's natural. It's just flowing.
I love
it's
it.
nice. I had a good time. I've seen the podcast or these dadcasts in the past, and I'm like, I
Their
think we
name's
can pull this off.
not the dad cast. It's actually building character.
It-
I just call
listen,
it
the dad cast rolls
Oh.
off so well. I get
It
it. My
does.
only reason for not
Okay.
having it be the dad cast, because Black threw that out right at the very beginning, and the only reason was because no,
Okay.
Black calls it that. I just didn't want to like make people
Oh.
think you had to be a dad to be on it or anything around those
Yeah.
sense. You know what I mean?
Because it's open. to
Oh,
everyone.
I guess it was etched in my brain that it was called the dadcast.
It's because he
and-
etched it there.
No,
he etched
it
there.
is. I put it there. I've only named
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I've
exactly.
only named it building character like 3 times.
Yeah,
All right, so it's you did say that. Yeah.
yeah. I just call it
So-
building character because it's a little bit more welcoming to, you know, anybody
Hey,
in
I'll send
who wants to be
Carl's
on.
the info.
Makes
Get him
sense.
in it.
But
Get him in rotation.
But yeah, it's been awesome. I think we got one out of the way very early, lesson wise. I like to take a lesson away from it. So
Agreed.
I'm pretty sure we don't have quality over quantity, and that's probably what I'll end up naming this one. Love it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Do you
Had fun
have
with that.
anybody on Twitch that you would like to pass the raid on to?
Let me check. I do
Are you
follow
streaming
some
after
people.
this, Budster?
It's possible. I'm gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna see
Okay,
what my
never mind.
son and family's doing. If everybody's doing their thing, I might pop another stream on. So be sure to hit that exclamation notify in the chat so you
There it
get
is.
all your alerts. So on Twitch, let's see who's on Twitch.
All right, I'm gonna sign off, guys. Much love.
Hey, Black,
All right, buddy.
let me
Appreciate it.
send us to the the gray screen, and then we'll catch everybody hopefully next week.
Bye.